And so let's actually do just a bit of a dive into this. This was one of the things that was the most requested in the last webinar that we did, was a little bit more information on custom reporting, specifically around some of the setup that we do. So there's a great article all on how to set up your own custom reports, but let's look live in the system, and we're going to create a brand new document here. So as Jeff said, this is from the manage documents side of things. And we're going to just create a new document from the template message schedule here. So the very first thing and the most important that we're going to decide on is what data type we are reporting on. There's two options. There's signs, so individual signs, but also sign types. And the way that this breaks down is if we report on a sign type, it has to be information that applies to all of the signs of that type. So if I have specific fields, specific artwork, specific anything to do with like individual fields, I can't report on that when I'm reporting on the type of sign. I'm just looking for like budget numbers. Here's an overview of what that sign looks like rather than individual artwork, or how many of them and where are they located. Things like that are going to be what we can report on when we're looking at a type of sign as a whole. For everything else, we want to look at individual signs. So there's a bunch of formatting here, but most of the meat of a report is going to live in the page body section. And so as Jeff was saying, this is these are basically, they function like a template where they are codes that are going to say, for example, I have all messages here. That means that when I run this report for every sign, I'm going to pull in all of the messages about that sign and just show this in a grid. So let's make a couple of additions here. This works a lot like Excel. And so all I'm going to do is right click and let's put in a new column of information. So in this case, let's say that I want to have more information about my location of where these signs actually are. Now, as Jeff said, there is a large amount of information about this in our support articles. For right now, I just happen to know this is the short code for it. And so I'm going to say, I want to pull in where this sign is. Let's also add an extra column here, and we're going to pull in information about the tags. So you can tag an individual sign and still have that show up in these kinds of reports. You'll notice I'm choosing pretty simple ones to write because I happen to remember them. And so we're going to save this report, and whatever we call it, let's call it something unique. There we go, is now going to be something that is available from our PDF drop-down reports, as well as I can see a preview of here's kind of what this is going to look like when we actually do it. Now, there's only going to pull information about 5 signs. If we pulled in everything, it would take just as long to run the actual report. And so this is just designed to be a quick preview. All right, so we're going to come to this export tool, and this is where we're going to put in that custom PDF information. Right here under PDF documents, we can run a report of anything that we already have access to. So this is where I do the baking swap and I bring in a custom report that's already been done. And let's take a look at it. It's very similar to what we just set up. And we can see that we have those tags that we were looking at. Here's the location of the sign. But something you may not know, and you can see if you hover over this, is that lots of things in this report are going to be clickable. So let's say I am scrolling through, I'm doing a review outside of SignAgent because maybe my client doesn't like working with new technology, and we find that there is an error with a particular sign. I can click on that sign and it's going to take me directly to it right in the app where I can make changes to it and have all my information in one spot. The same is going to be true about locations, artwork, any photos that we take. There's a lot of clickable stuff in here that will take you right to it, in this case, floor 1 directly within the program. Now, there's a ton to talk about for this, but that's a good intro for some of the things that people may not see when they first start making their own custom reports.